All right, cool.
Perfect. We Eating presents the Free99 podcast. Be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Instagram. Search FREE99 podcast. Be sure to listen, like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to sponsors, We Eating, the F Word Clothing Company. That's FWordClothingCo.com and DVO Productions. Possibly you. Email us ask99@gmail.com. We have Philly Phil in the building, Mono in the building. I'm the good homie Gus Customer Service, and the building that we are currently in is the Pixar building in Rubio, California. Woo. Very, very fortunate to have two special guests on today. First, we have calling in via the hotline, we have Chrissy Kobaba. Hi, Chrissy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you. We have here live in person, Bobby Alcid Rubio.
What's up?
So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead. Yeah. Being that this is episode 55, right, guys? Episode 55, we're going to call this the Junior Seau episode. Just for you.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, just for you. Just for you. Just for you.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, yeah, really, real talk. So let's, just to start off in the beginning, how did Float become... All right, where did it birth from?
Okay. It started as a comic book that I was going to do because it's based off of my relationship with my son, Alex. And my son, Alex, is on the autism spectrum. And I didn't know how to handle it. And I actually handled it really badly. And my wife was like, you know what? You can't just be sitting here not doing anything. Why don't you... do something productive with your time. Why don't you make a comic? Because that's what you're about. Mm-hmm. So then I made this comic, Alex, and I tried to do I did the cover, and it is, you could see it on the extras on the.
Towards the end, is it where you guys are walking up a hill?
No, you have to go through the extras on Disney Plus. There's you could select extras.
There's a making of Float little extra.
Yeah, there's a making of Float little extras. But you guys could see, it's behind me. There's an image right there.
Is that the original right there?
Yeah, that's the original. Where on the cover is a father and son, and the son is floating, and they're on a field of dandelions. And the cover also says the tagline, "A special child and a father's journey." And I was gonna do it, but I was going through a depression at the time, and I just couldn't do it emotionally. I couldn't even touch it. So fast forward, that was like 9 years ago. And so fast forward to like 3 years ago, I decided to do storyboards, just draw it as a storyboard and a short. And because I was looking at my son and I was realizing, I got to get this story out before he becomes a man. This story is gnawing at me. I had to get it out. And so I drew the storyboards and I showed it around to my friends. And they said, you should show this to Lindsay Collins, the executive producer of Spark Shorts. And I did, and she liked it, and she thought it was a perfect candidate for the Spark Shorts program.
With you writing out that storyboard and actually spending time on it, that was therapy for you.
Yeah, for sure. It was therapy. Because you have to face your demons, and you have to be honest with yourself. And especially when you're telling your animation crew to follow you, you have to know what you're talking about, and you have to tell them, this is how I felt here and now. And if we could capture that, it's going to resonate with everybody out there that has been going through what I went through.
And then initially, when you first drew it out, they weren't Filipino.
No. You can even see in the cover, they were white. Because I didn't think anyone wanted to see Filipino
You wouldn't translate to mainstream?
Exactly. It was more of like my thinking was, that unconscious bias, like who's going to buy this? Who's going to want to see this? And it's just maybe because like I haven't seen Filipinos on TV. I mean, I could count on my one hand of all the Filipinos I've ever seen in media.
2 of them are half, probably.
Exactly. 2 of them are probably half. Yeah. I mean, the first one I saw was Ernie Reyes Jr. on Last Dragon.
Oh, and his pops.
And his pops, yes.
His pops, yeah.
And then, of course, there's Dante, Bosco.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then,
From Hook.
and Hook.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
Rubio.
Yep.
And then that's it.
Rubio.
I mean, really? Name some other ones.
Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Lou is half.
Yeah.
John Phillips. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the other
See,
guy
that's
from,
3.
And a half, 2.5.
2.5. Right.
We're there.
There's more now.
Bruno
Yeah.
Mars, yeah.
There's
yeah.
more now. But yeah, this is me growing up. I didn't see anything. And so maybe that's what kind of messed with my mind, thinking like, oh, okay, we're not
going to cross over. Basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. How's this going to play? Who's going to want to see this?
Yeah.
But luckily, Pixar was great about it in that one of my coworkers was saying, like, this is your story. Why these characters should be Filipino? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, at first I was still hesitant. I was like, I don't think so. And then she went, how's Alex going to feel?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, how's Alex gonna feel when he looks up and it's
Not
it's
really him.
It's not him. It's a white kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's one thing when it's me.
Yeah.
It's another thing when it's my son.
Your boy.
And I was all like, I don't want my son to ever feel worthless. That he wasn't like a superhero. Like I didn't believe he could be a superhero. I wanted him to know that his daddy loves him, and he believes in he could be whatever he wants.
And not to be ashamed of who you are.
Exactly. So, so that's why I was like, okay, from this day forward, they're gonna be Filipino American.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that Pixar was behind us.
Shout out to Pixar, man.
Yeah, right.
Pixar.
Yeah. And it's great too because myself and Chrissy is also she's P9 as well.
Hey!
And
I'm one of those half ones. So.
she is one of the half ones. But still,
That's 3.5 we know.
We'll take all the halves we can get.
Yeah, exactly.
but yeah, the great thing is I also had Chrissy with me, and that we kind of shepherded this to make sure that we represented the Filipino culture to the best abilities that we can.
We spent quite a lot of time on character design. That was one of the things where we were really careful about how we wanted our characters to look. And we kept looking at different faces, and Bobby would say, that nose isn't quite right, and I think the lips are too thin, and so
That
we
nose
spent a lot
isn't
of
quite
time.
right.
Yeah. You have to get the nose right.
Right. Otherwise, because we have a very specific nose, and I know Filipinos will spot it. They'll be like, "That's right, that's correct."
Yeah.
And luckily, it is right. Although most people are saying it's right, and we don't all look alike.
Everyone looks different. Yeah,
Everyone
we all look different, but there have been some people saying, "Oh my gosh, that looks like my uncle, or that looks like my tio, or that looks like my lolo." So that's been very great.
Especially when the long hair came in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird that people have said that. Like it's the same model except the long hair and now the
Yeah.
facial hair.
When the long hair came in, I was like, oh, yeah, he's
Yep.
Filipino.
He's playing in a band right now. One thing I noticed, your subtle touches to be sure that our culture is represented. I was looking at the coffee mug, and that was on the table.
Yes.
When you were I guess you were looking for your son, and you looked up. It was very subtle. That coffee mug with the Philippine flag was very subtle.
Yeah.
But if you were paying attention to the full screen, you've seen that.
Yeah, my Eskrima sticks are also there.
Is that right?
Yeah, look, they're right here.
Do you practice Eskrima?
I did. I want to get back to it.
I practice screaming.
He has 3 daughters, so we're all fathers here.
Oh, okay. All right.
So I scream a lot.
No, I know. Me too. All my boys.
I try to not scream, but I do the Filipino. I just do the clicking of my tongue, and my son look at me like, all right, time to chill. Pops is getting hot. Time to chill. and you know, just when me and my wife first watched Float, it was like we're getting ready for work. She got Disney Plus, and she was like, "Hey, I got it last night when you were asleep," and I was like, "Let's watch it real quick," because Float was one of the biggest pushes that our culture seen, because it showed representation of us on the screen. Like you said, that was very important for not only for you but for your son, and you know, for us, especially here in the Bay Area. There's a ton of us. You know?
Oh, did you catch the 510?
I did not.
Oh,
Catch the
okay.
510.
I'm about to watch it on the way back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did you catch the 619?
I didn't catch the 619. Is that
Oh, okay.
We never catch that.
the only 619 know is Rey Mysterio. That's the only 619 ever.
I will tell you guys some of the Easter eggs. Just those two. The 619 is San Diego, of
course,
and that's on the house. It's the house number.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. And the 510, when the father and son are across the street from the park, they're across the street, the house across the street, it's 510, the house number.
Where the two moms are talking with the kids, right?
Oh, no. Later on.
Oh, okay.
In front of the park.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So look out for that. And there's some other Bay Area stuff that I'm not going to tell you, but look out for that too. Because I did want to represent
you as a
Diego and the Bay. Yes.
Because you're raised in San Diego, and
Yes.
your kids are raised here in the Bay Area.
Here in the Bay, yeah. But I won't let them be Raider fans, or I won't let them be Niner fans. I'm just saying.
Good luck with that, Bobby.
Huh?
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know. You guys are gonna win the Super Bowl.
We hope.
jinx it.
That's always the hope.
I see what you're doing here.
yeah.
Reverse psychology.
Go Chiefs. But I only say this, and I've told these guys this, is because the Niners beat the Chargers in the Super Bowl, and I'm still very bitter about it.
That was a good Super Bowl. That was almost too easy for us. But
Those are one of those Super Bowls where there's a lot of highlight reels.
Ouch.
Yeah, interview over.
No. That's it. I'm out. Chrissy, you take over.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. We're obviously not going to talk about football anymore.
Let's get off that sensitive subject.
So, as Philip, Chrissy, were you born here in the U.S.?
Yeah. I was born here. I'm actually native of Los Angeles.
Oh.
So, with you born in U.S. and Bobby, you're born in the U.S. as well?
San Diego, born and raised.
Born and raised. Okay, I'll start off with Chrissy. Filipino food. What is a yes to you, and what is a hell no to you, as far as Filipino?
Well, my grandma made the most delicious Filipino food ever, and so I do miss her lumpia and her pancit for sure. She made also a meat roll that when I was little I didn't like, but as I got older I appreciated. I think
embutido?
The hell no might have to be balut.
Oh yeah. That's a hard pass for me too. That's a hard
That's
pass.
an easy pass for me.
Yeah. I'd have to stick. You know what the funny thing is? Like if you put balut in front of me right now, I'd probably try it because it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's me too. It's been a long time.
It's the broth is fine. It's like
Yeah, it's the looking at the duck face.
It's a duck like scratching your neck, scratching inside of your throat as you're. Oh yeah, that's a hard pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your go-to, Bobby, as far as like Filipino food? Doesn't matter who's making it, if it's there.
Yeah.
I want.
You know what? I like how Chrissy mentioned what her grandma made, and like what I think of when I think of my grandma is those polverons, those little.
Oh, she made polveron?
Yeah.
It's hard to make.
Is it? Okay, but
I never made it. So.
Yeah. But like polveron. Remember, Chrissy? Do you remember polveron? It's like that candy.
Do, yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to go for right now is some halo halo.
Oh, that
yes.
sounds so good.
Yes.
Flan.
Really
good flan.
My mom makes good flan.
And then on the pass would be bullet too with all you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
With Chrissy and Bobby, with both of you being born SoCal, this is more towards because I'm familiar with Bobby's Instagram. Why do you hate Northern California Mexican food?
Oh, I saw that.
It ain't right. It's just not right. Chrissy, you start.
I actually have to agree with Bobby. It's a different style. I feel like the Southern California Mexican food to me tastes fresher. And
I agree with that.
I don't know what the difference is, but it tastes like fresher and lighter and kind of healthier. I don't know what the ingredients are. Like maybe there's regional differences from Mexico, but there is a difference.
Yeah, I know.
And there's also in Southern California, you can get taquitos, and you can't get those in Northern California. I love taquitos.
Rolled
Rolled tacos.
Rolled tacos.
Yeah, so we have rolled tacos, and over up here in the north, you guys don't put lettuce and cheese and sour cream and tomatoes, fresh tomatoes on top. You just have the taquitos. Yeah. That's it. And I'm like, well, where's the other stuff? That's like
they save it for the salad bowls.
I guess that's one reason why you guys don't do it right.
Get a burrito bowl instead. There is a difference. I grew up going to Bonita a lot.
Oh, nice.
So
I have cousins there.
Any burritos would be a go-to spot. Like my intro to like California burritos was like in like the 90s. Yeah. When it was like, so I would always like, California burritos or carne asada fries, that was my jam. And they never had it over here. And I always noticed we don't, in SoCal, y'all don't put the rice or beans inside your burrito.
No, we don't.
You don't.
That's what's, I'm like,
so they're much heavier, I think, up here.
Yes.
Yeah, and when you bite down, I remember my first time I bit into one, I was like, whoa, why is there rice in this? And the one I do remember one time going to a restaurant going, hey, can you throw some fries in my burrito? And they looked at me crazy. Yeah. And I was like, what? It's a California burrito, man.
It's not a thing up here till recently.
Okay.
Till recently. Recently, then, more restaurants are starting to do it because they have deep fryers, but there's a vast difference. I'm partial because I grew up in the Mission in San Francisco, so like to me that was my intro to like Mexican food. Okay. But SoCal, I would say, does have really it's different, and it's a better different.
The seafood burritos.
Seafood burritos?
Oh yeah.
Oh, man, like lobster burritos.
Burritos are different.
Oh. Yes.
I think there's more acid in the Southern California Mexican food. Like it's more fresh salsa, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it tastes fresher.
And your orange bang and horchatas on tap.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't have that. We scoop it out for y'all. So we're cheap over here.
Yeah, I know. You're making me miss home, man.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's all go to San Diego.
When you do have Mexican food here in the Bay Area, where would you go?
I like Zolo's in Oakland. That was
Zolo's.
Yeah.
I've yet to go to Zolo's.
Yeah, it's across. Where is it? Have you been, Chrissy?
Yeah, I like that place too. I like Cancun. Cancun's okay. I like what's that place? There's a place over on 4th Street that I like too. Oh, Doña Tomas, if you want fancy Mexican.
Oh, okay.
That place is pretty delicious.
Ooh.
It's definitely upscale though.
Oh,
and
okay.
then there's another place on 4th Street, and I forget the name of that place, but I think it's owned by the same people who run Doña Tomas, and I like their food too.
The difference for us though, with Mexican food, like in the city, San Francisco, taquerias have it. Like we went on taquerias, but in the East Bay, they went on taco trucks. Like taco trucks in the East Bay, I would say have a higher edge than the San Francisco food trucks. So what is the next step for you guys? Like we noticed there's been a lot more awareness. There's Loop, where more autism awareness.
That's also Chrissy is producer of Loop.
Shout out to Chrissy working.
Yay! Yeah, I'm one of 2 producers on Loop, and that one also you can see on Disney Plus.
Yes.
So yeah, that one I'm really proud of as well. Float and Loop. Yep.
That one had me and my wife in our feels, like the whole phone thing, and even down to the very last page, the very last screen of it, where you see the little boy text. I forget what the name is. Sorry, but text her, and it's like, it's like the dog barking. Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah. He gets it. She gets it. So being also a father, who fights for autism awareness, it's tough because we give a voice to our children who don't have that voice.
Right.
Because it's not that we see something wrong, it's the fact that we have to adjust to the way we think. We have to adjust the way our patience is way more higher.
Now.
Right? No, I see.
Yeah, now.
Right? Because
Yes.
it's not like, oh, let's get up and go. It's kind of like, all right, we have to work into it. Like, all right,
process.
let's,
Yeah.
And Phil knows because, Phil travels with my family, and we do the Disneyland all the time. We do all the stuff, and it's being more aware, more accommodating of how sensory overload could really affect the little ones. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And just getting them the help they need early
Yeah,
on.
my son, like, we go to Disneyland, and then we do that pass all the time. We don't go in lines.
Gotta do it, man.
We just get that fast pass,
Mm-hmm.
and then my son wears
Headphones?
Headphones,
Yeah.
because he to cancel out, the noise.
Just to help him center, just to
Yeah.
help him focus, because
Yeah.
there's a lot going on. Disneyland's very accommodating.
No, yeah,
Very
Disneyland is.
accommodating. It's just that you have to find the cues for your own son and know exactly what he wants to eat when he's there. It's going to be like fried chicken or pizza.
Yeah.
That stays within the wheelhouse of my son.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's crazy because being a parent, you exactly what you say. You have to be accommodating, and you try to do the best you can. I was reminded of this quote when I made Float. I reminded of this quote that somebody told me. I forget who says it, but the quote is, "At first I wanted to change my child to fit the world, and now I want to change the world to fit my child."
Amen.
So that's what we're trying to do, man.
Yeah.
Like by bringing awareness, and like I know for the Filipino community, like I know for my mom, she was like, "Don't worry, he's gonna be all right."
Exactly.
Like he's like.
Just give him time, right?
Yeah, just give him.
time.
He's gonna be all right. But like, Mom, I think it's more than that. And if we could bring awareness to the Filipino community, to the community at large, that early intervention is key.
Yeah.
And like just putting it off and like just going like, oh no, he'll eventually, or he or she will eventually get better. That's not the way to set up your child for success. I definitely think early intervention is key, and that old way of thinking of he'll get better. I mean,
That's that old generation.
yeah.
Be all right.
Yeah.
Walk it off.
Although, I mean, at the end of the day, you will be all right.
Yeah. No, that's a fact. As long as the love and support's there,
Yes.
that starts off at home,
Yes.
everything will be fine.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's just with that, it's also understanding your own. Like, if you met one kid on autism, you met one kid on autism.
Exactly.
The
Right,
spectrum
right.
is so wide.
Yes.
It's so wide that you don't really understand. All you can do is just appreciate the little things, like the first time you get eye contact,
Yes.
the first time your son says happy birthday to you, like
Yes.
little things like that. Like, people take advantage of because like it's tough, right?
Yeah. Because that's what's so a trip about the autism spectrum is like, you don't know where they fall in the spectrum. You just don't. You just got to go, and like, they'll tell you up front, your child might never say "I love you."
Yeah.
You might never hear that stuff. So,
There's
or
no
you won't.
blueprint for it.
There is no blueprint for it right now.
Exactly.
And so you're just kind of going through it and trying to survive, and like, that's one of the reasons that one of the themes of Float is that at the end, all I really wanted to show was that the father accepts his son,
Yeah.
because once he does, then they're gonna be all right. He's not trying to impress everybody else in the park.
Not at all.
No, he's not trying to change the world right now. It's just him and his son. Once their bond is back together, then they could face the world together, and they could change the world together. That's how I see it.
And you being a comic book head, you being
Yeah.
a true like enthusiast of superheroes, like,
Yeah.
you look at almost every superhero, they always have this, like my son, I say he has the spider senses start tingling. You know what I mean? And then to where, like, you know, Spider-Man has to put the glasses on to help him focus. 'Cause
Yes.
It's an overload. So
Yes.
every superhero has a thing.
Yeah.
And so, like, in a sense, to us, it's like we're parents to that superhero and trying to help them navigate through world, and you know, because the world is not ready for them, but they're ready for the world. You know what I mean? So it's by you guys producing Loop, Float, you know, and all the other animations that make it a conversation at home.
Yes.
To where, because kids don't understand, you know, like the kids who are watching it, they're like, oh, okay, and then, oh, there's kids in my school like that, you know, just making it a home conversation to where it's something everyone can talk about, because no one really talks about it.
Right. I will say this is cool is that my one of Alex's classmates saw the short, and he was like, I don't know why that kid looks familiar, but he does. And then when he found out it was Alex, he went, oh, I could understand Alex now better. You know, I sat with him in class, and now I know, okay, yeah, he's different, but we're still friends.
Yeah, he's different, but
he's
still the same.
Yeah. So, it's about bringing that conversation and into the community to make it somewhat normalized.
With a world that's very not normal.
Yeah.
And just us, you know, the biggest thing is for parents to accept it, because once we accept it, once we take the necessary steps to get the help, then it's easier than that, because that's the hardest thing. It's just like you said, is accepting it, because you know I've watched that numerous times, and it's just, you know, it hits home every time, a little harder each time, because it's, you know, it's just a reminder of what's happening. But at the same time, it's like, as long as you let them be them, they're fine. It's us that has the problem.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, because like if you watch it, Alex is fine. He's doing his own thing.
Yeah, he's happy.
Yeah, I know for myself, and like I kept on. I actually saw therapy, so I would tell your listeners, like, if they're going through a problem, please get help.
Yeah, talk to someone.
It's definitely, don't bottle it up inside. And so, through therapy, my person was always going like, Bobby, you're future casting, I think she said. Because I'm always like, what is Alex going to be? I don't know what he's going to be like. And she's like, you can't predict the future. And Bobby, no one can predict the future. Yeah. So
just live in the now and appreciate it.
Yeah. So it took a while, but it was crazy. It's like everyone's going to have their problem. And also,
exactly.
You know what it is too, is also, it's almost kind of you're grieving for mourning of what you thought you were going to have, because you thought you were going to have just a typical normal life and normal kid, and then you get the diagnosis, and then now it's a different place.
Like, where are we at now?
Yeah, where are we at now? And so how that already, you're going to like mourn or be sad for what you didn't have, like you were planning what you were planning. I heard, did you hear the story? It's called Being in Holland.
No.
You heard that story?
No, please.
Okay, the story is this. When you have a child, you're thinking of all the cool, it's like going to vacation.
Okay.
And you're planning on going to Italy. And you're like, man, it's going to be sexy. It's going to be awesome. I have all these plans to go.
I love pizza. I love pasta.
Yeah. So you're packing for Italy. You're going to go nightclub, and you're going to do all this sexy stuff in Italy and touring and seeing everything. And so you go on the plane, and you take off, and you're fully expecting Italy, but you land in Holland. And you're like disappointed that you're in Holland. And you're like, wait, but I was packing for Italy. I was expecting all this cool stuff, sexy, entertaining stuff, but that's not it anymore. You're not in Italy. You're in Holland. Holland can be cool. There's cool stuff in Holland. It's just different.
It's just not Italy.
It's just not Italy. So you just got to get over you were going to go to Italy.
Yeah.
You're just now in Holland, and Holland can be cool. You can make that cool.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's awesome stuff in Holland too.
Shout out to Holland. Shout out to
But that's the story. So if you hear amongst the autism community, if they say you're in Holland now, that's what they mean. You're in Holland.
Yeah.
You're not in Italy, but Holland's
It's
cool.
kind of like resetting your expectations, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Just accepting where you landed.
yeah, because it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It could still be awesome.
It is, yeah. And every day has been. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Every day is a different day.
Yeah. How old's your son, or can you say or not?
He's 5.
Oh, okay.
He's 5. Mikey's 5.
Oh, okay. So you're
Yeah.
still in it. You're still in the
Yeah.
beginning of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All everything, all the therapies, all the IEPs, like everything. So it's
Yeah.
this is hitting home.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's
Yeah. My son's 12 now, so I've been where you're at, man, and like
it's a beautiful struggle.
it is, but yeah. There's a light. There's definitely a
Oh
light.
yeah.
There's
Oh
definitely a
yeah.
light.
And-
I didn't see it at the time, and hopefully you do see it.
Every day I get home from work.
Sweet, man.
That's the light. You know what I
Sweet.
mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's me though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not. There's nothing to do with my son.
Yeah.
It's
Man, Gus, dude, I was there, man. I was there. You could explain it to the listeners, but dude, I've been there.
I'm okay though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm 100% okay. It's just like you said. You think about, you overthink the process.
No, you do. You do.
And simplifying it is the best thing to do, because there's nothing. He just worries about what's his next meal, or what's his toy, or what YouTube video he's gonna play over and over again. You know what I mean? That's-
Yeah.
What Pixar short he's gonna keep playing on Disney Plus? Okay, so we recently went to Hawaii,
Okay.
and I had to download a bunch of Pixar shorts through the Google through our iPad, just to get us through a 4 or 5 hour flight.
I
that
hear ya.
saved our
Which one
life.
is his favorite?
Yeah, which ones are his favorite?
He Flo,
Sweet.
Luke, Kid Bull. He does all the
Spark shorts.
all the Spark shorts. All the Toy Story shorts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a Pixar fanatic. Whenever we go to California,
That's what I love to hear.
he would rather go to California Adventure than Disneyland, because he spends all day in Pixar Pier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's his jam. Like he likes cars. He'll go on it once every time, and then that's it. He won't go a second
wow.
time. But then Toy Story Mania, or Midway Mania, we're on that like 7 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's whatever he wants.
That's it. No. I get it. I hear you. I'm remembering. There's a repetitive aspect to
Yeah.
autism that you're like, okay. Oh, are we done?
Repetitive and the routine.
Yeah.
Right?
And a routine.
Yeah, like
Yes.
it'll be that, and then it'll be the Jesse's Critter Carousel, and it'll have to be right after Midway Mania, because that's his jam.
Yeah.
And it's just, the fact that how accommodating, and how you guys are bringing it to the forefront, to where it's making it visible. You know what I mean? You're
Yes.
making, not to say you're making it cool, but in the sense, but at the same time you're using your platform to not only our culture, who it's not talked about.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's
Filipinos, or I could say almost Asians, we do not speak about it.
Nope.
There is not a voice for it, and you guys are giving it a voice, giving it a heart. You know what I mean? And it's showing it's okay, as long as let's get the help that's needed. Let's go in the right direction. All kids are different.
Yes.
Let's just push forward. You know what I mean? And as a nation, or as a Disney Pixar community, you guys are bringing it front, and it's dope. It's good to see. You know what I mean? Like, it's very heartfelt.
Thank you, Gus. I appreciate that,
Oh,
man.
man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gus. Thank you for sharing your experience with your son too, and say hi to him.
That wasn't the plan today, but
No, man, but that makes this real,
yeah, no, and
Because I mean, we were all laughing and stuff, but now this is the serious
Yeah.
part bit. Let's go back to laughing.
Definitely. So, what's Pixar shorts like? This was explain the process of that. Like how this project happened for you guys, as far as not just wind and Kipple and everything, but how did this come about to?
I guess I could let Chrissy respond to that. Chrissy,
Please.
you want to talk about that?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, once Bobby's idea got greenlit, we basically I got brought on. So Bobby had already been drawing storyboards and thinking about his idea, and so then the next step was, okay, we got to find Bobby a producer. And so luckily, I had just finished working on Coco, and it was a great time for me to jump on.
I cried at the end of Coco, by the way. So just to be real, I cried at the end of Coco.
Yeah.
Yeah, Coco gets a lot of people, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the feels.
It's definitely one of those ones that hits you hard. And so, yeah, I had some time and looking for my next assignment, and I had wanted to do a short project for a while. And it just turned out to be great timing. And they said, do you want to work with Bobby? And I said, well, we've never worked before, but I heard his pitch, and I loved that he had this great, solid idea, and I loved that he wanted to make his character Filipino-American, and I was in from that moment. And from really when I jumped on, we have such a short time to make these Spark Shorts that it was all about, okay, we got to get a crew together, we got to get an editor, we got to get, some people to help animate, we got to get, some layout people to do camera work for us. And so it was really hitting the ground running and just making the short as quickly as we could.
Yeah, and I want to commend Chrissy because, there's a lot of things that I wasn't used to, and she kind of held my hand because I'm only used to being a story artist, and, there's different parts of the process that I definitely wasn't aware of, and she kind of walked me through it, and I am so grateful to have Chrissy as my producer. She's super awesome.
No, thank you, Bobby. Well, yeah, I mean, I loved working with Bobby. We got such a great relationship, and talking all the time about how to make the story better and how to make this more emotional. And I think I'm really proud of what we were able to get up on screen.
Yeah, me too.
Make it more emotional.
All
What are you guys trying to do here?
all the feels.
And I was just talking, just so I'm not putting only myself out there. We had a podcast, and Mono, our producer, we were talking to him, and I asked if there was ever a cartoon he cried on. He said, I cried on Finding Nemo, because he just had his son. He just had his son when the movie came out, and then that was one of the feels. And just how Pixar is able to really, really find that heartbeat. And then I feel that's super important, and find out that you guys are right here in the Bay Area. Like, you guys been hidden behind IKEA for so long.
You never make it past that.
Can't get past IKEA and their Swedish meatballs. But to find out that, you guys are doing it, and we're very fortunate to have you guys, and
Thank you.
We're really thankful for the opportunity, really thankful for you guys to share not only your stories, but to elevate the stories of others. Was there any questions that you had, Phil, that you wanted to?
Oh no, man! I can't compare it to your stories, man.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here
And look pretty.
I yelled at my kids this morning.
Mono, anything you want to? No. Well, Chrissy, just to wrap up the podcast, was anything you want to share in regards to your journey? Anything you want to share in regards to Pixar itself?
Yeah, I mean, I would love. I think the thing that meant the most to me about this is really first of all, getting to know Bobby and getting to know our crew was really, really special. One of the things that I really treasure from that experience was other parents sharing their stories about those moments where they broke down with their kids, and and I think it's not isolated to kids with autism. I think any parent has those moments, and that was really a special way to get to know your coworkers a little better. The other thing that has really been great for us, and so sweet after the film came out, was just the response from the Filipino American community and the response from parents of kids with special needs and parents of kids that are neurodivergent, and it's just been really, really great to hear the response.
Yes, that's also like, that's the reason why I put the word difference. I didn't want to just the short to be just about autism. I wanted the audience to come up with their own interpretation of difference. So like Chrissy said, though, we've gotten people from the Filipino American community. We've gotten people from the LGBTQ community, and just anybody who ever felt like an outsider, different from people, have contacted me and said thank you for this. And they're like, I know it meant autism to you, but for me it meant something else. And so I am grateful that it's resonated with the world and
Connected with everybody.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
So,
it did.
Yeah, that's been really special to hear.
Yeah.
So just to wrap up Free99 podcast, like I said, we're here in Emeryville County, California. We got Chrissy, we got Bobby for the Pixar team. Shout out to Chris, sitting in the corner. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris!
Chris is the coach. He's the Nolan behind all this playmaking right now.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true.
We are very appreciative. This is the Free99 podcast. Oh, Chrissy, do you have social media you want to share? Anyone want to follow you? They don't have
Sure,
to.
I'm on Instagram. I'm Kababapalooza.
Kababapalooza! I'm following.
And on Twitter, I'm Kababa, which is Kirbaba.
And my man Bobby?
On Facebook, it's Art of Bobby Rubio on Facebook. On Twitter, it's Bobby_Rubio. On Instagram, it's Bobby Rubio. And on LinkedIn, I believe it's Bobby Rubio.
Hey,
Try
shout
to
out
keep it neat, simple.
Chris, Chrissy, Bobby, the whole Pixar family. Thank you. This is the Free99 podcast, episode 55. Junior, stay out.
Junior, rest in peace.
Rest in peace.